for which we yearn, and for which we are issuing a rallying cry with all people of the world, with the peoples of the South, especially in the non-aligned movement doctrine, the South-South doctrine, our vision, our commitment and certainty. Many countries have strongly supported Venezuela as it has grappled with the circumstances of the past few years. Dozens of countries represented here at the United Nations have provided support, cooperation and solidarity to our people. They have listened to the truth from the voices of Venezuelans themselves. On many previous occasions at this General Assembly, and in other parts of the United Nations system, Venezuela has frequently spoken out against the ferocious onslaught, the merciless campaign waged against our country by the elites that have governed the United States, with the complicity of the elites at the helm of organizations in Europe and elsewhere. They have sought to manipulate international organizations and international law in an attempt to justify their merciless campaign and criminal aggressions against the noble, peaceful and democratic people of Venezuela. We have spoken out about this situation on many prior occasions and in many different organizations, and we are doing so again here today before the United Nations General Assembly in New York. At this session of the General Assembly in September 2021, Venezuela again denounces a savage campaign, a permanent systematic aggression waged through economic, financial, cruel oil sanctions, a persecution of the right to economic freedom, violating the economic rights and guarantees to which all people are entitled. This is a fierce assault on the right to buy what our country needs, and on the right to sell what our country produces. Particularly Venezuela's immense oil and mining wealth, which it has developed for decades. Bank accounts are being targeted. Our gold, held in the legal international reserves at the Venezuelan Central Bank in London, has been seized. And billions of dollars held in bank accounts in the United States, Europe, and beyond have been frozen. Venezuelan oil and mining companies are prevented from selling their products and opening bank accounts to pay and receive money and to trade freely, as is provided for under international law. This is financial, monetary, economic persecution, which is systematic, cruel, and criminal, and Venezuela is raising its voice here to denounce it before the people of the world. For years, we have faced threats. For years, we have faced aggressions. Nevertheless, I can say to you today, from the heart of Caracas, where the liberators of America were born, that the Venezuelan people, with their great capacity for resilience and resistance, the Venezuelan people have risen. This year, 2021, is a particularly special year for Venezuela, as we are marking 200 years since the victory of the Battle of Carabobo, which was decisive in our country's independence. This year, we have progressed from a cruel, painful time of resistance to one of recovery and prolonged growth in the domains of science, innovation and technology, with the spiritual resilience of a hard-working people who refuse to give in, a free, rebellious people who have flourished in spite of the challenges of the past few years. We have taken the path of recovery and holistic growth for our nation. We have chosen to unleash our productive strengths, despite the hellish blockade, despite the criminal persecution and cruel torture of our nation's economic and social life. We can thus say to the people of the world, with bravery, with decisiveness, with intelligence and wisdom, yes, we can. We can stand up to these imperialist aggressions and prosper. That is why we once again call for, indeed demand, that all the criminal sanctions imposed on the Venezuelan economy and society by the United States and the European Union be lifted. Our demand is morally just, and we are making it on behalf of 30 million Venezuelan men and women. We are grateful for the support of many UN member states in helping us advance towards achieving this key goal of our country and our region. I would like to take this opportunity to underscore our support for and solidarity with the Republic of Cuba, the people of Cuba, whose demand that all elements of the economic and trade embargo be lifted have been supported by a majority vote at the UN on 27 occasions. Venezuela also speaks out in favor of justice and humanity